Welcome to the main Slate Mashup, hosted by Long DFS. I am Jamie, and as per usual, I am joined by Rich and Liam. Liam, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, Jamie. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Richie boy, where are you, mate?
Doing good, doing well. Yeah.
You look very surprised, as if you kind of like, oh God, are we recording?
Yeah. Am I actually okay?
How do I look?
Stunning, always.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. Excited to get into this. It'll be the first time I get to see the Packers play in the playoffs this year. Hopefully, we make a deep run.
And the last time. I'm just joshing with you. You know I am.
Yeah.
I've no idea. So what did you boys think about last week? How did you guys get on, DFS-wise?
Yeah, fairly well. I was saying to you pre-recording, like the Pittsburgh passing game kind of saved me a little bit. But yeah, I was in the green, so you can't really complain too much. And I think I was fourth in here, in the playoff edition. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with that.
And what about you, Rich?
Yeah, I had a pretty decent week as well. I was ended up finishing second in the divisional in the matchup we've got with SLDs. I had a pretty good week overall. Just enjoyed sitting back and watching the games, to be honest. It's quite nice to be able to just watch one game at a time and just know you're not missing any action.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But my other half, Rach, said to me when the game's just, I think it was, I don't know, like 8 o'clock on Sunday or something, she was like, why aren't you watching Red Zone? Because I didn't watch a lot of the first game. I don't think we did someone else. And she was like, oh, about Red Zone? I was like, well, it's not on. That's regular season. She was like, but the season isn't over. I was like, I know, but it's the regular season. This is the playoffs. She was like, no, the whole thing is the regular season. That's what it should be. And at that point, I just went blank.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just need to give it up, right?
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you. You're probably right. I'm just not arguing. But it was fun just sitting and watching what I could. I didn't see the Steelers game, obviously, because that was ridiculous late. I woke up and saw the highlights and was like, what the hell? It was an interesting one, and as same as you, Liam, the Steelers passing game saved me on a 2 lineups I did. So without that, it would have been a shocking weekend. Rich, you finished second, didn't you, overall in the first week?
I did. Unfortunately, I was in the same bracket as Jason, who seems like he's storming off with a bit of an early lead. So that was unfortunate. It would have been nice to have scooped the prize, but hey ho.
Always in the
I wouldn't have a bracket set. That's nice for sure.
Yeah, always in the hunt, boys. Always in the hunt. What about it? And as I say, this playoff thing is the first year we're doing it, so it's kind of just seeing how it goes and seeing what we can tweak for next year and what we can tweak overall for seasonal DFS the third year. But less talking about the previous games and seasonal DFS. Should we get on to the actual main slate this weekend?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's dig into it.
Go on then, Rich. Start us off. QBs, high price QB.
King Mahomes.
Yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah. The guy's just immense, right?
Yeah.
It almost seems, I think I mentioned it before, it seems like it's almost too easy for the Chiefs. I think they're maybe needing the pressure of a playoff game, and they'll have that against Cleveland.
I know what you mean. Last year, wasn't it? In the playoffs, they went down in the games. It's like they wanted to give them a head start just to feel like they had something to do.
Yeah, it just seems like the offense in particular is just kind of going through the motions and just being like, yeah, we know we can win this. without like there being like really too much jeopardy.
Mm.
So it'd be interesting to see what they do against Cleveland, who are obviously going to be bouncing after upsetting the Steelers. So this will be an interesting game. One reason why I really like Mahomes is I think I'm right in saying Andy Reid has never lost in the week after having a bye.
I think you're right. I saw a tweet earlier on the Chiefs after a bye, and I'm going to try and find it because it was like this is this point scored. The Chiefs have scored after a bye, and it's something really, really silly.
Yeah, like Andy Reid seems like he just loves having that week off. You know, he can sit back, eat a bunch of ribs, or I don't know what he does, but it seems to work for him. And I think this is going to be where you start seeing the Chiefs roll on offense now. Yeah,
I can't find the tweet, but it was something like 30 points, 40 points, 40 points, 30 points that they've scored after. Oh, here we go. Chiefs points off a bye with Andy Reid and Mahomes, including the playoffs. 40, 31, 40, 51, 35. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, and you left out the Super Bowl, which was 31 points. So, yeah. Mahomes is top of my list. Let's put it that way. Liam, what about you, mate? Are you liking Patrick Mahomes this week?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's not to like, really? I mean, you kind of just justified both of you there pretty well. So I'm not going to add to that because, just play Patrick Mahomes.
So what Big Ben did.
Well, I'll talk about Lamar Jackson, 7,600. Going back to the well again. Really liked him last week, and it's hard not to again. He got 28 points without even getting a passing touchdown, which is incredible, to be honest. 136 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown last week against Tennessee, and you'd expect a similar game script with Buffalo. They gave up 167 rushing yards.
Yeah.
In last week to Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines mostly, and Lamar Jackson. Maybe not Taylor, but definitely he's more talented than Hines. So I expect him to fully exploit this defense, and it's going to be high scoring by all accounts. So, yeah, I think if you're not a big fan of Mahomes this week, which I'd be surprised if you weren't, or if you need to save some money, you could always go to Jackson for that $400 saving.
Yeah, I've got two. Mine was Mahomes and Lamar, really. And I'm not trying to. I'm just being plain and simple with this, really. But Lamar Jackson has got he's got the huge rushing upside. Yes, he's not going to blow you away with his passing. What you're hoping for is 10 plus rushing attempts for 80 yards plus and a touchdown, really. That's what saves him.
Yeah, and I think in road games this season, James, he's averaging like 85 yards a game, which is crazy. Yeah, so Ian, his averages are what you kind of want, really. So, yeah.
Rich, have you got anyone else apart from Lamar and Patty Mahomes that you
Unsurprisingly,
like? No. Liam, have you?
No, I don't know.
No, so we're all in agreement that it's Lamar and Mahomes this week. QB's high price that we like. Go on then, Liam. Hit us with a running back that you like this week.
My number one guy is probably Nick Chubb, 6,600. Going against KC this week. Of course, you'd expect them to be behind most of the game, which typically you wouldn't associate a team being behind with the running back as a good play. But ultimately, this Cleveland offense is a run first offense, and Nick Chubb has shown the past couple of weeks against Pittsburgh that even against toughest defenses in the league, he can produce well. And they even got some receiving work last week, 69 yards off 4 receptions. That's actually really positive. A lot of times, we don't really see that from Nick. So to get that from him last week was actually really good. I don't think KC is the best rush defense in the world. Pretty sure they're fairly mid. There's Jamie Fett up there, they're 19th in the league overall. So they're not great. They're not amazing. They're not great. Nick Chubb 6,600. It seems a bit too cheap for me, so I'll play a bit of Nick Chubb for sure in my lineups.
I think the interesting thing, the positive thing for me, you talked about the targets. You saw 4 targets last week.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, he saw 5 targets. So and he's seeing I don't know, let's say an average of 2 targets a week. Kind of, we all thought, well, I did, that Hunt would be predominantly the pass catching back. And it's not always the case. Chubb can catch the ball. He's got good hands. And I really like Nick Chubb this week. He's one of my 2. Rich, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I like Nick Chubb too for the reasons that you guys both went through. My guy is right on the border, but he's towards the upper half. Cam Akers against Green Bay. We saw what he did last week for the Rams, and yeah, Green Bay might have an improved defense and a great offense, but they just still cannot defend running backs. And Cam Akers seems like he's getting all the touches that he wants out of that backfield. So, I mean, if you look, week 14, 29 attempts against the Jets, 15 attempts, but I think he left that game early, by memory. Arizona, 21 attempts.
It wasn't helpful.
Seattle, 28 attempts. So, yeah, the rushing work's there for him. I think this Rams offense is going to need to rely on Cam Akers to be a playmaker rather than give the ball to Jared Goff, because we've seen before that he can really struggle against some tough defenses. So that's why I like Akers.
I think the thing about Jared Goff, again, I'm going to say I saw another someone tweet something about Goff. Goff in weather below 40 is like 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions, 57% completion. He's not good, and he's got 3 pins in his thumb, which, to be fair, he was okay. The reason Walford for me started last week because they didn't think he was ready, Goff, and 7 days prior or 10 days prior or something like that, he'd had those pins put in, so he probably wasn't, and he did okay. But I think same as what you said, Rich. I think they're going to need to run the ball, and Akers is going to be the main focus of their offense. With a couple of play action passes to get Robert Woods or Higbee or Everett or Cup bit of space. It's easy passes. They're not going to ask too much of whoever plays quarterback. I've got Nick Chubb as mentioned on my list. I've also got Alvin Kamara, the most expensive running back, 7,900. He did okay against Chicago. The thing that I wasn't too pleased about was the 2 targets, and it was Drew Brees at quarterback. Usually Kamara is peppered, but the fact that the Saints, I think the Saints knew this game was in the bag pretty early. Am I wrong in thinking that? I just don't think Chicago really put up much.
I mean, they got a few lucky breaks, didn't they, at New Orleans? But they're probably due those breaks, to be honest, over the past few years. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they knew that they had the game in the back and they would just run down the clock pretty much the whole game.
Out what's his name? Latavius Murray got receiving touchdown. Jeez.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's 7,900. Kamara he's the best player on the pitch for me. And yes, Thomas is back. Thomas looked good. But if Alvin Kamara doesn't play well, the Saints will not win this game. One thing that I'm looking to put a bet on is 1 receiving touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown for next week. It's going to be a great game against the Bucs. They've beaten them twice. The Bucs are going to want to have a little bit of payback. I think Kamara is going to be heavily used. He's about 1,000 more than the next priced running back, but I think, 7,900. He's a centerpiece for me. I really, really, really quite like him this week. Liam, who else have you got?
Nothing for running back, actually. I was considering J.K. Dobbins maybe, but just because obviously if we're talking about how bad Buffalo's rush defense is, then you have to consider running back or the number 1 running back at least. But
I thought about Dobbins as well, but then I thought to myself, I could probably get Gus Edwards for nearly 2,000 cheaper and get 75% of probably the work that Dobbins is going to get.
And like, or you could just go to Akers, who we talked about already, for $300 less.
Exactly.
He's going to get more work. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rich, have you got anybody else?
No, I mean, I think we covered Baltimore's running back when we spoke about Lamar Jackson. So
Yeah.
Do you know, Rich, what are your thoughts on Aaron Jones this week? Being a Packers fan.
The fact that we lost David
Bakhtiari.
I can never pronounce his surname. Really does concern me because he's a big part of that offensive line, and the Rams have a strong defensive line. Like Aaron Donald, still like
Donald's
he was
out.
No, he's expected to play, isn't he?
Is he? I thought as it's playoffs, everyone's kind of expected to play. Everyone heals that much quicker. He's got if he's got broken ribs, I don't care how much of a Superman he is. I don't know what the injury was, but it seemed kind of ribby, didn't it? Do you not
suffered torn rib cartilage, expected to play versus Packers?
Do you not think with Aaron Jones? Obviously, we saw the Seahawks Rams game last week. Chris Carson played all right. He looked pretty good. Aaron Jones. Do you not think they'll use him more out of the backfield as a passing threat as well?
I could see that. I think we'll probably cover it later, but I think one of the guys who's probably going to see a decent game would be Tonyan at tight end.
Okay. I'm sure we'll get to him then.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, we will get to him.
Right. Liam, starts with wide receiver you like.
The main guy for me this week is one of the guys I liked last week is Michael Thomas. Not sure why he's 6,700. If someone would like me on that pricing, I'm not too sure, but yeah, he's a great play this week. We saw last week he bounced back really well. The touchdown and 73 yards is decent considering the game script. As Jamie was saying, they kind of relied on Kamara a fair bit to run a game, which could be more game script favourable to Thomas with more passing, especially from Breeze. I think you have to expect Thomas to see more targets than the 7 he did last week, and looked like he hadn't been missed a beat really. So yeah, 6,700. I think he's one of the better plays, if not the best play on the whole slate.
Interesting. I like it. Rich, what about you, my man?
I had Thomas, but I'm going to go Tyreek the Freak.
Yeah.
Just, I don't really care who he's playing against. I don't feel like you can really cover him. Yeah. He's just too quick, too elusive. We've seen what he can do with limited targets. Like, he can take any pass to the house. So against this secondary that it was Cleveland might have won that game, but it was ripped apart by the Steelers.
As kind of expected, a lot of people all kind of thought it would be, just not that much.
So he's had a week to rest his hamstring, which was given a bit of 2 weeks now to rest his hamstring, which is given a bit of trouble towards the end of the season. I think that this Chiefs offense is going to score a lot of points, and Tyreek Hill is going to be one of the main guys to benefit from that.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I've got 2 players I've got on my list of Michael Thomas and Tyreek Hill. Thomas for all the reasons that you boys said, and Tyreek Hill for the reasons that you said, Rich. I don't want to call him. He's not the number 1 target for Mahomes. I think Kelsey is personally, but he can, as you say, he can just literally turn nothing into a touchdown. I think the Chiefs will come out absolutely firing on this Chiefs. They're not a running team. They're going to try and pass all over them. Tyreek Hill could have a good big game. 8,000, quite like the price as well. Have you boys got anybody else?
I'll give a brief mention, Stephon Diggs. I'll open up to you guys to get your opinions as well. I feel for 7,300 of his target share, he's a bit too cheap, a bit like Michael Thomas. Yes, he's against Baltimore. Yeah, they're a pretty good defense. But we saw what AJ Brown did to them at the start of the game, at least. And I feel Diggs can be a bit more consistent with what he can produce on the field. So yeah, I mean, he's had 100 yard games in 3 of the last 4.
Yeah,
I definitely think he can do that against Baltimore, despite the defense he's going up against. Are you guys interested at all in Diggs, or are you pivoting elsewhere?
I don't dislike Diggs and the price. 7,300, as you say, kind of for what the target he's seeing is a little bit cheap. I'm just thinking last week, obviously John Brown was back, but was he actually back? Was he fully healthy? I think he ran routes on 40 of Josh Allen's passing of offensive snaps. I'm just interested I think he'll get more involved this week, which potentially could drop Diggs down his target share a little bit, but I don't know. I'm kind of I think for me is if you can fit a Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas in your lineup, and you probably can with the running back prices, I'm all for it, because Diggs has been so consistent, and as you said, the price, mate, it's nice. What do you think, Rich?
I'm slightly worried about Diggs just because of it being Baltimore.
Okay.
The offensive line for Buffalo is great. So that and the fact that Josh Allen's kind of elusive and he can kind of extend the play with his feet somewhat nullifies their ability to bring pass rush, but their secondary is still great. And if you can take away Diggs, and that is a big if, because he's been playing really well, then that's how you beat Buffalo. You force Josh Allen to look to his secondary options and use your linebackers in zone. Just kind of nullify it. The fact that Moss is out as well, I think hurts them. He's not been that effective, but just having his presence there with like big body kind of helps them out a bit. So that's my concern for him this week.
I'm trying to find another tweet which I saw, which I thought was quite interesting.
The tweets today.
Something about
Jamie's been snowed under at work, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely snowed under.
Yeah, all these tweets, mate, that I found.
It was something like the Bills do a lot of four wide receiver sets, a fair few of them, and and the Ravens against 4 wide receiver sets are middle to bottom half defensively. That was something I saw, which I thought was quite interesting. I'll try and dig that tweet up and I'll retweet it. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. I can see what you mean about Stephon Diggs as well.
Yeah,
and I think if Beasley's back fully healthy, he got 7 targets last week. I think that will be helpful for Diggs this week. But yeah, this Baltimore defense is turning up at the right time. Let's put it that way. Okay, right. Should we go on to tight ends?
Yes, do it. Yeah.
Rich, do you want to be Mr. Obvious? Who's the tight end you like?
I'm going to talk about Robert Tonyan because we're
exactly who I was thinking.
Okay. So as mentioned before, I think that Tonyan's probably going to be in line for a big game here.
Okay.
Devontae Adams is the lead receiver for the Packers. There's no doubt about that. Which I think means that he's going to get the Ramsey treatment.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
He might even get Ramsey and one of their safeties. So that to me means that Rodgers is going to be looking towards Adams to keep him in the game, but Rodgers is too smart to just keep forcing it to Adams against a cornerback like Ramsey, which means you're going to see secondary receivers. Now, we've seen Alan Lazard and Valdez-Scantling both have moments of opportunity when they've been good, but Robert Tonyan's the guy that it seems that Rodgers looks to when he's facing a lot of pressure, like quite a few sacks.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at previous
or sack opportunities. So,
yeah.
It maybe hasn't shown up in the last couple of weeks, but I think if you look at the scores there, like the Packers are kind of like leading away with them, so they didn't really need to pass the ball. So like Tennessee, and Chicago week 16 and 17. Like he had 4 targets, but both of those games were quite well in hand.
Yeah.
It's those tighter games where, like against the Colts, he saw 5 targets. Against the Vikings, he saw 7 targets. Against Jacksonville, which was a tight game, 4 targets. It's those tighter affairs, the ones where Tonyan is more involved, and with Aaron Rodgers, you're always going to have red zone upside for any receiver, really. So that to me is why I'm considering him in my lineups this week.
You mentioned about Adams getting the Ramsey treatment. I'm going to say again, I saw another tweet actually, which I thought was quite funny.
Do you do any work?
Yeah, I do. Trust me, I do. But I think I saw these all at the same time, probably. And it was
that's what I'd say as well.
If and I think some guy tweeted saying if I'm the Rams defensive coordinator, I'm having Ramsey obviously follow Devontae Adams all over the pitch, and if Devontae Adams needs to go for a piss, I'm going to get him to follow him into the bathroom as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's going to be
that's how it has to be. You need to try and like Bill Belichick it out and just take away the biggest offensive weapon they have, which is Devontae Adams, and then force them to figure out something else.
Yeah, that's going to be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Massively interesting matchup. Liam, tight end.
Mark Andrews to me, 5,000. I've been following a lot of Raven stuff this week just because of what happened last week and what they think is happening this week as well. And they seem to think Mark Andrews is going to have a good game this week. Marquise Brown is probably going to have Travis White, which isn't a fun matchup, quite frankly, for him. I think Travis White, especially on his birthday as well, could have quite a good game. And that leaves Mark Andrews, who the Bills give up a fair bit across the middle of the field. That's how Mark Andrews operates. 6 targets last week, and he's continuously done pretty well on the targets front. It's 7 and 10 previous weeks before that. He tends to be Lamar's guy. In terms of passing targets anyway. Of course, Brown got a fair bit last week, but if Brown's going to be wrapped up by Tre'Davious White, then he's back to being Andrews and getting them red zone targets and having that yak ability, which we all know he has.
Yeah. Like it. I'll be Mr. Obvious. I'm not fucking around. It's Travis Kelce. The price, I clicked on him. I looked at him earlier. I saw the price and I was like, whoa, okay. That's an interesting one. It's Travis Kelce. It's 30 points, 22 points, 16, 29. Ideally, you'd like to see 30 points again. Going on the narrative that I think the Chiefs are literally just going to pass the ball pass every single snap if they could against this Browns defense. He's Mahomes' number 1 target. I had real difficulty choosing either Kelce or Hill in our little lineup, our DraftKings lineup. Competition between us three, this week. I still might change it, but 7,800 for tight end, it doesn't scare me with Travis Kelce. What do you boys think?
Yeah, I was having a little play around with lineup to see what I could do with Kelce in there. And I'm still trying to figure it out. I feel this week could be a really good week to play 2 tight ends. The tight ends this week are so nice compared to any other position, in my opinion. Obviously I like the play. It's Kelce. The target 60 every week is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I could do regarding lineups with him at the moment. But yeah, it's a great play.
You can get a lineup with Kelce, Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill, and it's not too bad. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
I need to move that
out. Anyone else got a high price tight end they like, or are we happy to move on to very quickly get through DSTs?
No, that's it for me.
Go on then, Rich. Defense. Hit us up.
I'm going to mention the most expensive on the slate.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we're all going to mention it, then we can all jump in on here. But I don't really know who the quarterback's going to be. It's most likely going to be Jared Goff. Doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't, exactly. Doesn't really matter to me. That offensive line is still not great at all. The Packers will be bringing the heat as much as they can, which means that you'll see a lot of turnovers from Jared Goff because that's just what happens when he's put under pressure.
And he's not 100%.
He's not 100%, and this is going to be a cold game for him as well.
And he's not good in cold weather.
Like, let's not forget, he's a Cali boy, right? So, it doesn't have to be difficult sometimes.
No. Liam, you got anything else to add?
Not really. Just I think Los Angeles are quite lucky to be here in the first place. So I think they should have taken a moment and just let the Packers go through. Quite frankly, guess what's going to happen. So yeah.
Cool. I'm guessing we've got no other defenses because I don't. No. Okay. All right then. Liam, start us off with kind of the mid to low QB range that you like.
Only one that I've kind of taken a fancy straight away is Baker Mayfield.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah,
same here.
I mean, Jamie, I can see why you'd like him because if you think the game script's going to be Casey pass heavy, putting up loads of points, then of course Baker Mayfield on the other side, he's going to have to do exactly the same thing.
Or try to. And the last time Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes met, wasn't it like a 60 to 50 game in college or something?
Yeah, I think I saw that in someone's article actually I read earlier. Yeah, so there you go. And Baker's had little weapons to put up loads of points. You saw it last week. Landry, Hunt, Chubb, etc., etc.
Hooper,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think he's a great play at 5,300. I don't know. I think he's too cheap. And out of the options that you do have, I think Baker should be the main guy you're looking at in terms of that position if you're looking to pay down.
Yeah, I think this could really backfire in my face. I think 4 times value is I want to say guaranteed, but I'm not going to say it. I think you can quite happily get 4 times value with Baker this week. That's what I'm going to say.
You should be able to. I'll say that. You should be able to.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Baker Mayfield is my one kind of mid to low QB price I like. Rich. Who have you got? It's when you go, oh yeah, I like Baker Mayfield. Or Jared Goff.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
For me. Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
It's more it's the offensive weapons that he has, and it seems like he's quite composed where you can see on YouTube or you put it up in your app or whatever, but the last week since week 15 he's had the lowest he had 348 yards.
He's played pretty well.
He's firing at all cylinders. This has actually been the best end of a season he's had in his career, and that's saying something for a career that he's had.
Yeah.
You look at it. What are you going to do on offense? You've got 3 wide receivers that are top tier. They're probably matching any 3 in the league. You've got running back Gio and Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. Either one of them can just carry the load, not a problem. What more is there to say? I mean, this Saints defense, that
that D line is coming after Brady. Cam Jordan, is it Hendricks or Hendrickson or whatever it is? They're coming.
Yeah,
they are coming after Brady.
They're coming after him, and they did force him to rush a few times, which is actually kind of why I'm spoiler alert. I'm going to be out on Gronk this week because I think that they won't be using him to run routes. They'll be using him to block. Yeah, that's what it's going to have to be for them, I think, this week.
Yeah, no, I like where you're going with Tom Brady there, mate. I do. Running backs. Go on then, Rich. Follow on from Tom Brady with a running back you like.
Okay. Kareem Hunt. It almost feels like cheating, but I don't even know. Is it revenge game narrative? Is that why I like him? I don't really know. I think it's mainly the price. 4,800 just feels really cheap to me.
Yep.
I think you're saying that we think that the Browns are going to have to pass the ball a lot. Kareem Hunt maybe has struggled in that area in recent weeks, but throughout the rest of the season, like just going back a couple of weeks, like he was getting
3,
targets.
7, 3, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's only these past 2 weeks against Pittsburgh where he's not really seen the targets. Like, yeah, as you say, like those other games he's had them, and the thing for me is he's still scoring as well. So if he gets a touchdown, you're straight away thinking, oh wow, I could definitely be hitting like 3 times value here.
Yeah, I've got Hunt on my list, and the price was something that stood out for me. The game script is something that stood out for me, and I think with Hunt as well I think there's a reasonably safe-ish floor, maybe 2 times value, I reckon, maybe in this game. But there is a real kind of ceiling, not a ceiling. There's so much upside for him, I think. I think the 20-plus point is doable, especially in a game like this.
Yeah. Let's not forget revenge game narrative either. That's always worth like 58 points.
Liam, who have you got, mate?
$300
cheaper than him, Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
he's my other one.
Yeah, Zach Moss out for the playoffs, so he's literally it.
They don't have, I don't think on the slate, they've got Williams either. The other Buffalo running back.
Antonio Williams, is that it? Yeah.
I don't think I could. I was looking. No, they don't have him.
Wow, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, which well, I suspect they're probably not going to add him now.
Well, literally, then he is the Buffalo backfield. He's a capable back. I mean, he hasn't been.
I think he's more than capable. I think he's better than Zach Moss. I don't think he's given the opportunity. The back end of last year, he played really, really well, and he's not a 3-down back, but he's better than bloody Zach Moss, for God's sake. Sorry, carry on, Liam.
No, it's okay. I mean, he's shown in the past that he can have that PPR upside with his pass catching. Even now he's still getting 2 to 3 receptions a game, most weeks anyway. And of course, the attempts you've seen with the 3 and 3 the past couple of weeks, that's going to triple, in my opinion, at least this week. It's Baltimore, but what you need, if you hit 15 points, you're laughing.
Yeah.
And I think you have to think he can do that at this game. Like, they're gonna have to score points, and Josh Allen is a more than capable QB of getting them up and down the field, no matter what defense he's up against. So, Singletary, I think he's going to be quite chalky, but he's chalky for a reason.
Do you guys remember last year's game against Dallas for Singletary in the playoffs?
Was that the breakout?
I think he played all right going up to that, but that game he just looked really, really good. The game where Josh Allen decided to lateral on a pass, wasn't it, or something, when he was running and fumbled the ball or something like that. But yeah, that every single time I think of Devin Singletary, I think about that game and just think, why won't they give him the opportunity? Because he's a small, he's not a big power back. He's a I don't want to say scat back, but yeah, 4,500. I think it's too cheap, isn't it? For the workload that he's going to he could potentially get. Rich, I had on top of my list for cheap, for kind of mid to low, I had Akers. You've talked about Akers previously. I really like him this week. I think Akers is going to be the chalkiest. Everyone is going to own Akers, but I think that doesn't matter. I think you've just got to this week. Forget about try and find an edge somewhere else. I think Akers is a fairly solid play. Going on from Singletary and the workload, I've got noodle legs. Leonard Fournette going up against the Saints. He's 4,900. Last week was 19 attempts for 93 and a touchdown, 4 targets, 4 receptions, 39 yards. He looked all right. He looked pretty good, actually. This is all based on if Ronald Jones isn't good to go. I don't think we'll find that out. I reckon it will end up being a game time decision or something silly like that. It's workload for me. I think he's going to be given the opportunity. The Bucs offense is potent. Yes, the Saints defense is very, very good, but the Bucs will score points. They will get down to the goal line, and Leonard Fournette will get opportunities. for the amount of work he's going to see, I reckon 4,900. I think it's a bit. I don't want to say no brainer, but I think he's in the same boat as Secretary. I'm going to have him in lineups because he's going to see work. What do you boys think on that?
Yeah, for the price, I don't hate it at all. There's not much to say really. He did well last week against a supposedly decent Washington rush defense, and he's going up against another one here in New Orleans. So hopefully, lightning strikes twice, eh?
If Ronald Jones is fit, then I'm not.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Just leave him alone, but completely. But yeah,
exactly. Liv, have you got anyone else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Rich?
No, that's it. I'm going to put a word of warning out against Leonard Fournette, though.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just this Saints defense is rough against running backs.
In
the previous 2 games where Tampa have played them, because it's divisional rivals, they've played them twice already. First game they had 86 total rushing yards, and in week 9 they had 8. Is that right? That cannot be right. That's what it's showing.
No, they did because they ran the ball about 4 times.
Yeah.
Whole game.
So
I always say the Saints defense is really, really, really quite good.
It's not really quite good. It's like
I can't say that. I'm a Falcons fan. I'm not going to say that. I'm really, really
okay.
quite good.
I mean,
he's good.
So
he's amazing.
I'm on Pro Football Reference, and they've given up 18 points on average to the position.
Yeah.
Right. There's only 3 teams that have less than 20 points, and the Saints are one of them.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Noodle Legs isn't someone that I really want to play. As I said, it's just the amount of work I think he could get. He could get a couple of short yardage touchdowns. Saints defense is very, 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 very good. But I don't think the Bucs were playing with so much confidence offensively when leading up to the previous games with obviously the Saints. I think the Bucs have really stepped up about 3 or 4 different gears up until now.
I hear what you're saying, and for the
price, I agree with you on the Saints defense.
I just think for the millions and millions of listeners, it'd be remiss of me if I didn't mention it.
No, that's fine. I'm happy you did. I would prefer to pay Kareem Hunt than Leonard Fournette at the price, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Given the choice. But there will be a sprinkling of Fournette in a lineup for me. I can't, just in case Hunt shits the bed. Rich, wide receiver, go for it.
I'm going to go for 2 because I'm not really sure between the 2, and it's just always the same. The Rams receivers, Woods or Cup. Don't know which one I want.
Really?
But I can't. Yeah, I don't really know. Why?
Is it a price thing, Rich?
Is it a price thing? Because they are cheap.
They're both cheap.
Yeah.
The thing is, I just feel it's almost just the receptions that I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Because I think the targets are going to be there. Because the way I see this happening, if I'm Jared Goff, we do the snap, and then I see Smith coming at me, and then Kenny Clark coming at me, and I'll just go, Robert Woods, there you go, enjoy.
So Rich is going for the 18 targets, 17 receptions for 44 yards thing.
I think 44 yards would probably be overdoing it. I think it's going to be one of these where he buckles and he just kind of just shovel passes it every single time. Just I don't want it. I don't want it. That to me is kind of where I am. The fact of the matter is Alexander is going to cover one of these 2. Which one does he cover?
I'm going to guess.
My heart says Cup.
My kind of head
if he
says
plays
Woods, because Woods will be fully fit. Cup won't be. That's my only thought. The healthiness of the wide receivers, who you're going to put your better cover guy on.
Yeah. whichever one of these gets covered by Alexander, I don't want. I mean, this might be a moot point by the time this comes out because
You'll find out when the game starts.
Yeah.
Cup is question. Well, yeah, but Cup is what I mean is Cup is questionable. So
he's playing.
Expected to play apparently.
He is expected to play, but I don't know. I also
Josh Reynolds week.
Josh Reynolds, yeah, okay.
Van Jefferson.
But this is like the injury that he has. It affects the movement of your knee,
which is quite important when you want to use your legs to run around.
Yeah, that's quite vital.
Yeah, so I'm not sure too much how he can, like, how effective he will be. I don't know.
What are the Packers like against tight ends, just out of interest, Rich? Because I'm wondering if they might kind of see Cooper Kupp as potentially a bit of a, I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
Tight end, like short dump off option.
Yeah.
Secondary tight end.
Oh, I can't think of the word.
Green Bay Packers are immense against tight end. 10.4 DK points given up, which is third best in the league, only bettered by the Steelers and 49ers.
I was just thinking that they might use, it's the wrong word, Kupp as a bit of a distraction. As in kind of try and get someone to go and cover Kupp, just running a route that he's never going to get to. No balls never get thrown to him, and then they can try and get one of their big tight ends a bit of space. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know who I would choose between the two of them. I'd probably go Robert Woods if I'm honest. But
yeah, probably Woods myself too. Yeah.
Just out of the fact that also with now the fact that you told me that the knee injury has issues with moving the knee.
Yeah, I feel like now I've looked that up. Like I feel like it might be Woods I want to go for.
Rich, what you've just said is if I said to you, I've got a headache, you might go, that might give you some issues with your head.
Yeah.
Injury analysis, that's what we give here.
Yeah, that's it. Hashtag not a doctor.
Bad for knee. Apart from the two Rams wide receivers, is there anyone else? Rich.
Yeah. Again, another duo. So Alan Lazard and Valdez-Scantling. Like I think one of these guys is probably going to catch one bomb. Valdez-Scantling, it's frustrating to watch as a fan because I'm like, you should have caught that pass.
Not as bad as Wims.
No, nothing is as bad as that.
That was a whiff.
That guy I don't think could catch COVID. So there's
oh my god, absolute scenes if it comes out tomorrow that he's got COVID.
He'll drop it. The thing is for me, I think both of these are more GPP options. Valdez-Scantling is the guy who can most likely break off like a large reception for a touchdown. So he's probably my GPP play.
If I'm going for a punt, it's MVS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then curse him when he drops a ball.
Yeah. Lazard. Yeah, I looked at Lazard. I just wasn't sure. I preferred Valdez-Scantling.
That's fair.
Valdez-Scantling. That's the one I was looking for. Liam, have you got anyone else?
Antonio Brown, 5,400.
What the fuck happened to him last week after his touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, if you believe in what Rich is saying in terms of Fournette being stuffed, then they're going to pass the ball again, right? And we're not sure on Evans' health. He looked okay last week, despite his injuries, and everyone,
didn't he?
Yeah, everyone ate really, including Brown. You know, a touchdown. Only had 3 targets, but it didn't matter. He got a touchdown. I'd expect Brown to be more and more involved in the offense as the pro season goes on, as long as they stay in it.
Yeah.
And you know, all it takes is what we saw in week 17. You know, was it 15 targets, 2 touchdowns? Like, if he does that, he breaks the slate. So he's got that ability. We all know his talent. It's just whether he can stay on the field. And 5,400. I'm willing to take a risk on him and hope that he does well for me.
Yeah, no, I quite like that, mate. I like that. The only one that you boys have listed that's on my list is MVS. Where am I going? Yeah, I'm jumping on this train again. Marquise Brown. I think the price is a little bit cheap. I'm kind of going with the fact that he's played really, really well the last 4 weeks. He's seen more targets. He's being used in different ways in the receiver position. This has got shootout potential. And yes, he might have, was it Tre'Davious White on him? That is a concern, but it's Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. That's basically who Lamar Jackson is going to pass the ball to. Really, the other wide receivers aren't really worth talking about for me. I'm going on the fact that he's probably gaining a little bit more confidence getting to the end as the season's going on. He's 7-9 for 109, no touchdowns last week, 2 touchdowns the week before that, a touchdown against the Giants in week 16. I think the price is the thing that's kind of tipped me over the edge for Marquise Brown this week. Are you boys a little bit hesitant because of Tre'Davious White potentially covering him?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from Ravens fans that puts me off him. I mean, I tend to trust the guys that actually watch the teams week in and week out, week out, because they watch. They actually know. They see every single snap pretty much. So yeah, I just thought Andrews gonna have a better game. But yeah, I mean, Brown has been brilliant, as you said, the past month or so. So I would be surprised if he went off again.
Yeah, Rich, same kind of boat as Liam.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what Liam said.
Cool. I've got another one, and he was a bit of a breakout last week. It's Deontay Harris for the Saints.
Yeah, he was the last one I had on the list.
Yeah, 3,500, seven targets, 7 receptions, 83 yards. It was kind of as if the defense were kind of focusing on Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Cook, and Deontay Harris was just finding space, and Breeze will throw it to the man that's open. I think the price of 3,500 is, he might do absolutely nothing. He might get same as he got in week 11 against the Falcons, 1 target, 1 reception for 2 yards. But he might get 5 for 5 for 50, and his 3,500 price tag is looking a little bit silly. I think it's a real punt play. He might do nothing. I think the 2 punt plays I've got this week are MVS and Harris, really. I think Harris doesn't have that big kind of MVS bomb touchdown, but I think he's got potential to see a fair, 5 odd targets, and that could be enough to get you 3 times value this week for him. Anything to add to that one, Richie boy? Here's a question. We haven't, apart from obviously Diggs, what do you guys think of Beasley this week? If you had to choose Beasley or John Brown, or is it just a bit?
Beasley, doesn't it? It's got to be Beasley. I don't think you can pick John Brown after last week, can you?
Yeah, I feel as though it's probably Beasley. I think if I'm playing GBP, I'll probably go John Brown because he's probably going to be like less than 1% owned because he fluffed last week.
Yeah,
but
I would lean Beasley.
You're punting with either of them, but I feel as though Beasley, if you put a gun to my head, Beasley would be the guy that I'm more confident in.
Who's on my list? Tight ends, Liam. Hit us with a tight end.
Austin Hooper for me.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's just cheap.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, like literally since wide receivers have COVID, Austin Hooper's just been doing really well.
He's 1,000 cheaper than he was last week, and he's
I don't understand it.
Not 1,000, 100. Sorry, not 1,000.
Well, yeah. I mean, still cheaper than he was. And 11 targets last week against Pittsburgh. Touchdown in the past 2 weeks as well. So yeah, he seems to be one of Baker's main guys. In the passing game at least, and they're going to have to pass the ball like we said earlier on with KC racking up the points. So I'll take a play at 3,800 of Austin Hooper, 100%.
Yep, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. He's top of my list. Rich.
I was just going to mention Dawson Knox. 3,100, yeah.
I thought you were literally just going to mention his name there.
Yeah,
that's
no,
it.
that was it. Yeah, I've mentioned him. Let's move on. No, I think like this is the week I really kind of want to pay up for tight end. So Dawson Knox probably won't be in very many of my lineups. He might not be in any of them, to be honest, by the end. But I think he's worth mentioning. Like he has looked a lot better this year in terms of what he's doing on the field. Whether he'll be asked to pass block, that could happen against the Ravens. But he has red zone upside, and Allen was getting more involved last week where he was just having to take what the defense was giving him. So, you might see another game where he has quite a few receptions.
Cool. Anyone got anyone else? No. Honourable mention for Jared Cook. I mean, he's just missed my list. Defenses, Liam.
Yeah, me defense this week. I've paid all the way up, all the way down. There's not really a middle for me, so I'll say Cleveland to 2,300.
Brave.
Yeah, yes, of course, Casey are going to score lots of points, but I feel this pass rush can get to Mahomes.
Yeah.
And based off what the other teams are showing on the slate, I find difficult to play them. Whereas Cleveland at the price, it's still a good defense regardless of what price they are. So I feel yes, they're in a tough matchup, but you're paying for the talent in the day, and 2,300 for a pass rush of that talent is worth it in my opinion.
Rich.
Rams, but I'm not particularly great about it. I just think like their defense has got more playmakers in it. But I mean, you're splitting hairs. I mean, it's what Liam says. You kind of you're paying all the way up or all the way down, right? I know I'm paying all the way down with Rams, but it feels like I am. So.
That's fair. No, I think the fact that Donald's back as well is a real boost. Not back, will probably be healthy for this. Is a real boost. I quite like him this week at 26. Call me crazy. I don't mind the Ravens 2,800. Yes, it's against the Bills. I know the Bills and Josh Allen are playing phenomenally, but at the moment the Ravens defense is playing really, really well. Again, like you said, Rich, with the Rams, talent. They've got a lot of talent on that team, that defense. I think 2,800. I'm happy to go with them there. I can see what you boys are saying about the Rams and the Browns as well. I think they're all quite appealing at the prices for me. Unless you want to pay up for the package of 39, there's nothing in the middle that really sparks my interest. Should we get on to our play of the week, boys?
Yeah, should do it.
Let's do it. Rich, what was your play of the week?
I feel like my play of the week is going to be Travis Kelce.
He's 78, is he? 7,800.
Yeah, 78.
Liam, who is yours?
Michael Thomas, 6,700.
This is brave. This is very, very, very brave. My play of the week's Marquise Brown.
Oof.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like it.
5,200. I just think it's too cheap. I think he should be 6 from what he's done recently. Yes, Tre'Davious White is a bit scaring me off, and I think I've made a horrible, horrible mistake. But I'm the man who had Brashard Perriman as his play of the week, so yeah, who cares? What about our stacks? Rich, what have you got stack-wise? I think we might have fairly similar ones, all of us.
I'm just going to go big balls out. Mahomes, Hill, and Kelce. 23,800.
Yeah.
Boom. Just do it.
Yeah. Or if you just wanted Mahomes and Hill, it's 16, or Mahomes and Kelce, it's 15.8. Liam.
Yeah, 2 for me. Jackson, Andrews for Ravens, and Mayfield and Hooper. And if you want to add Nick Chubb to that, you can do for the Browns.
Cool. I've got Lamar and Marquise Brown, which comes to 12.8. And my other one is Baker, Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Austin Hooper, all coming to 20,500. That could blow up in my face, but that's what it's all about, isn't it, Rich? Have you got another one, or are you happy with just the one, the Mahomes?
I'm happy with just that one.
Good. I'm not doing bust of the week because it's the playoffs and we don't want anybody to bust. Should we go on to our lineups for this week?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Rich, congratulations for winning last week.
Thanks. Even a breaking clock is right 2 times a day.
Exactly. I'm just going to get up the last week's score and just kind of look in awe over your winning score. Because I think you won by a fair amount, didn't you? Or can you not remember?
I can't remember.
Saving lives again. Thanks, Rich. That was
You're
your
welcome.
start. Yeah, Rich, 152 back. You won by 5 points.
Not a big amount at all.
No, not a massive amount at all. Right, same as usual. Run through our quarterbacks, then running backs, wide receivers, blah, blah, blah. At the moment, I'm just trying to get this to load up. There we go. Well, I'm looking at you. Liam, you can start off this week, mate. Who's your quarterback?
Aaron Rodgers, 6,900.
Rich's face, that was an interesting one. Rich, who is your quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes, 8,000.
I have Patrick Mahomes at 8,000 as well. Liam, who is your running back one?
Cam Akers, 5,700.
Rich?
Same.
Cam Akers. I've got Nick Chubb, 6,600. Liam, running back two.
Devin Singletary, 4,500.
Rich?
Same.
I've got Kareem Hunt, 4,800. The stack of Cleveland running backs. I think this might be the second or third time I've done it this year. Wide receiver one, Liam.
Devontae Adams, 8,600.
Interesting. Rich.
Tyreek Hill, 8,000.
Yeah, I've got Tyreek Hill, 8,000. I know exactly who you've got at tight end as well. Rich, who is your, not Rich, Liam, who is your wide receiver two?
Stephon Diggs, 7,300.
Rich?
Gabriel Davis, 4,000.
I've got Marquise Brown at 5,200. Liam, wide receiver three.
Michael Thomas, 6,700.
Rich?
Valdez Scantling, 38.
I've got Cole Beasley at 49 against the Ravens. Liam, who is your tight end?
Robert Tonyan, 4,200.
Rich's tight end is Travis Kelce at 7,800.
I'm going to say Robert. I'm actually going to say Robert Tonyan's my tight end.
I've got Austin Hooper, 3,800. Liam, your flex?
Austin Hooper, 3,800.
Now is your time, Rich. Who is your flex?
Travis Kelce.
I've got Cam Akers at 5,700. Defense, Liam.
Cleveland Browns, 2,300.
Rich.
Green Bay.
39. I've
Yeah.
got the Ravens at 28. Liam, can you run us down your team, please?
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers, QB, running backs, Cam Akers, Devin Singletary, wide receivers, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas, tight end, Robert Tonyan, the flex is Austin Hooper, and the defense is Cleveland Browns.
And Rich, same, please.
Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Running backs are Cam Akers and Singletary. Wide receivers are Tyreek Hill and two bums, otherwise known as Gabriel Davis and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I've actually got Travis Kelce at my tight end position.
I know you
And
have.
Aaron Robert Tonyan was in my flex. And the DST is the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I've got Mahomes, quarterback, running backs are Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. My wide receivers are Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown, and Cole Beasley. Tight end is Austin Hooper. My flex is Cam Akers, and my defense is the Ravens. It's going to be an interesting one this week. Hopefully, Kelce doesn't go off.
Should be good. Should be a good week of action, I think.
Yeah, I think we've got.
Yeah.
3. Yeah, I think you guys have got a couple of players who are similar.
Just running backs, really.
Just the running backs.
Just the running backs, not important positions.
No, who cares about running backs? Running backs don't matter. Boys, where can we find you? Rich, where can we find you on the socials?
You can find me at RichKingFF or KFantasy_sports, and the website is kingfantasysports.com.
And are you playing on the Xbox?
No.
Are you sure? I just saw an Xbox controller.
Oh no, it was in the way.
In the way, yeah.
In the way as he plays Madden.
How am I listening to you guys talking about this stuff and playing Xbox? Like, in what world is that happening?
Rich, you're kind of a big deal, Whaley, so I kind of expect it from you. Liam, where can we find you?
So Dolphin Abroad on Twitter, and website is dolphinabroad.wordpress.com.
You can find me on Twitter at Jamie_Byram_ at Season Long DFS. Website is www.seasonlongdfs.com. Thank you very much for joining me again this week, boys. I think this might be a little bit shorter than normal. Maybe. Probably not. It's probably not, is it? I'm guessing we're around the hour mark again.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Terrific.
We're really not good at timing, are we? But we just enjoy talking. Enjoy the playoffs, the divisional round this week. And this has been recorded on Tuesday the 12th, so any injuries after this we don't know about, so don't kill us for it. Enjoy the games this weekend. Good luck in all your DFS lineups that you do and competitions you do. I hope you don't do very well in seasonal DFS playoff competition, because I need to catch up a little bit. And I expect a 200-point score from one of you boys this week. That's a challenge.
Yeah, I think that's achievable. Yeah, for sure.
Let's do something. What kind of little bet can we do if one of us gets a 200-pointer? There's got to be something, isn't there?
I don't know. Donate money to a charity of choice or something like that.
I feel like it has to be pain. I feel like I want to see a forfeit.
Oh,
a forfeit.
Yeah, I don't know what it'll be. I need to see pain.
Forfeit, hot wax kind of pain.
Yeah, I don't know what it'll be yet, but I think what it is lockdown's got me raging, so I need to see pain.
Maybe something like snort a shot of vodka up your nose or something on video. That's
like a typical Wednesday for me. Yeah, okay,
we'll think of something. We will think of something. But yeah, no, that should be good. Thanks for joining me, and we will convene again next Tuesday or Wednesday for the AFC and NFC Championship games. I think hopefully we'll be a little bit shorter next week, podcast wise. But knowing us, it probably won't be.
I mean, you'd hope so, right? But
well, everyone who listens and watches hopes so. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If you've got this far, well done. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, we're basically talking to ourselves right now. Right. You guys take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
Take it easy, guys.
All the best.
See you later.